So you think your TV is cheap, right? Well, what if I told you it's supposed to be even cheaper, and that inflation is the thing that's stealing that discount from you? I'm going to take you behind the scenes so you understand what's actually happening with this, because we all like our discounts and we want to get them, right? Alright, so first a quick recap from yesterday's video. I showed you there that TV prices are falling because of productivity increases and other factors that essentially create a downward pressure on the price that far exceed the upward price pressure of inflation. Back to the whiteboard. To show you my point here, we first need to talk about GDP. And if you don't know what that is, it stands for Gross Domestic Product. And it's essentially a measurement of how much stuff is created in the economy. And whenever we talk about that, we talk about an increase in GDP or a decrease in GDP, which indicates if an economy is doing well or not. Because if it's not growing, it's shrinking. For this example, we're going to just be looking at global GDP. These numbers are just made up. They should be pretty close, but I didn't actually pull real data for this. I'll explain what this chart means now. Whenever we talk about GDP, we're always looking at a year ago, essentially. So we measure the previous year's baseline and determine how much growth that we had in our GDP, expressed as a percent. So these bars that I have on here, this is showing the actual growth of the economy, 4%. So in this scenario, the economy worldwide produced 4% more than it did last year. But this red bar, it represents the inflation of the monetary system worldwide. And so what happened with that is we inflated the supply 3% over the last year. Now, what's interesting about this is in the news, they often report the nominal GDP, which is measuring from this level. Nominal GDP includes inflation. So the total GDP that they would report is like, oh, the world economy grew by 7%, when in reality, it only grew 4%, and then the extra 3% just came from stuff getting more expensive due to the inflation of the monetary supply. All right, so let's wrap this up. If TVs, through all of those factors that we discussed before, increased their productivity and drove the price down over the last year 8%, well, the price got pushed down 8%, but then it got pushed back up from the inflation. And so what you're left with is a net 5% drop in price for the TV. So your TV should be cheaper than it is, and those discounts are getting eroded every single year. Give this video a like if you got something out of it. Follow me for more content like this.